I love you, Father, and I love your Son. I love you, Father, and I love your Son. I love you, Father, and I love your Son. I love you, Father, and I love your Son. Well, hello, I'm forgiveness teacher Willie from the Ozarks, and we're ready for lesson 298 in A Course in Miracles Workbook for Students here on Wednesday, October the 25th of 2023. I love you, Father, and I love your Son. My gratitude permits my love to be accepted without fear. My gratitude, my thankfulness allows or permits my love to be accepted without fear. My gratitude permits my love to be accepted without fear. And thus am I restored to my reality at last. All that intruded on my holy sight, forgiveness takes away. And I draw near the end of senseless journeys, mad careers, and artificial values. I accept instead what God establishes as mine, sure that in that alone I will be saved, sure that I go through fear to meet my love. I love you, Father, and I love your Son. Father, I come to you today because I would not follow any way but yours. Father, I come to you today, for I would not follow any way but yours. You are beside me, certain is your way, and I am grateful for your holy gifts of certain sanctuary, and escape from everything that would obscure my love for God my Father and his Holy Son. Wow, he wants us to be ourselves, to be the love beings that we are. I love my Father, and I love his creation, his children, his Son. I love my Father, and I love your Son. Okay, well, let's go look at our text reading for today. And we're ready in chapter 31. The next section is the illusion of an enemy. Paragraph 13. And let's see, while you're turning there, what on earth is going on today? Chucky, the Notorious Killer Doll Day. International Artists Day. MDS World Awareness Day. And MDS is it's a disorder where something disrupts the blood cell production. Myelodoplastic syndrome, MDS. National Cartoonists Against Crime Day. National Greasy Foods Day, which I wouldn't encourage you to eat much of that. National I Care About You Day. Punk for a Day, and that's celebrating punk rock. And National I Care About You Day, you know, that's just kind of the natural process of love, is to have real true care about. So today we're practicing I love you, Father, and I love your Son. I Care About You Day. Sourest Day celebrates all things sour, food and people. Of course, we're learning to see underneath the sourness of people that there's an appeal for help, and we're here to answer that, regardless of the form their sourness takes. St. Crispin's Day, and St. Crispin's was the patron saint of cobblers and leather workers, or he still is. He was beheaded in Rome on today in the year 285 or 286. It wasn't real clear. World Pasta Day and World Pizza Makers Day. And you know what? Let's just go ahead and let me tell you real quickly about Triricum wheat. There's 25 different species of Triricum. And I want to tell you about 3 of them real quick. The most common that most of us eat is aestivum, and it's broken down into hard winter wheat, which is the bread and all-purpose flour, Asian noodles, hard rolls, flatbreads, general-purpose flour, and cereal, and it grows mainly in the Great Plains. Then there's the hard spring aestivum, and its northern states grow it. It's your hearth breads, rolls, croissants, bagels, and pizza crusts. Soft red winter wheat, mainly east of the Mississippi, grows it, and it's for cookies, crackers, pretzels, pastries, and flatbreads. Soft white aestivum is West Coast mainly grows it, and it's cakes, noodles, and flatbreads. And then there's the hard white aestivum, and it grows in the Great Plains also, and it's used for Asian noodles like ramen, tortillas, flatbread, whole wheat, and white pan breads. And then there's another species, the durum, which is turgidum, and it grows in the northern plains, and it's high in protein, thus it's high in gluten. And then the last one I wanted to tell, and it's used for Mediterranean breads, couscous, and pastas. And then the last one I want to mention too is a one that's not used much anymore, but a lot of people use it because it doesn't have much gluten at all. And that's spelt, which is in the spelta species, and it's used for bread, pastas, cookies, cakes, and pies and more. The husk on the spelta clings a little stronger than the other, and so it's a little harder to what do you say? Manufacture or separate the husk off. Okay, the illusion of an enemy. And let's take with us, I love you, Father, and I love your Son. An ancient lesson is now overcome by the opposing of the... Oh, an ancient lesson is not overcome by the opposing of the new and old. It is not vanquished that the truth be known, nor fought against to lose to truth's appeal. There is no battle which must be prepared, no time to be expended, and no plans that need be laid for bringing in the new. There is an ancient battle being waged against the truth, but truth does not respond. Who could be hurt in such a war unless he hurts himself? He has no enemy in truth, and can he be assailed by dreams? And again, this is in chapter 31, the simplicity of salvation. Started in paragraph 13, which is the beginning of the illusion of an enemy. Now we're ready for 14. Let us review again what seems to stand between you and the truth of what you are. For there are steps in its relinquishment. The first is the decision that you make, but afterwards the truth is given you. You would establish truth, and by your wish you set 2 choices to be made each time you think you must decide on anything. Neither is true, nor are they different. Yet must we see them both before you can look past them to the one alternative that is a different choice. But not in dreams you made, that this might be obscured to you. 15. What you would choose between is not a choice, and gives but the illusion it is free. For it will have one outcome either way. Thus is it really not a choice at all. The leader and the follower emerge as separate roles, each seeming to possess advantages you would not want to lose. So in their fusion there appears to be the hope of satisfaction and of peace. You see yourself divided into both these roles, forever split between the two, and every friend or enemy becomes a means to help you save yourself from this. 16. Perhaps you call it love. Perhaps you think that it is murder, justified at last. You hate the one you gave the leader's role when you would have it, and you hate as well his not assuming it. At times you want to let the follower in you arise and give away the role of leadership. and this is what you made your brother for, and learn to think that this his purpose is. Unless he serves it, he has not fulfilled the function that was given him by you, and thus he merits death, because he has no purpose and no usefulness to you. And 17, and what of him? What does he want of you? What could he want but what you want of him? Herein is life as easily as death. For what you choose as well for him. 2 calls you make to him, as he to you. Between these 2 is choice, because from them there is a different outcome. If he be the leader or the follower to you, it matters not, for you have chosen death. But if he calls for death or calls for life, for hate or for forgiveness and for help, is not the same an outcome? Let's read that sentence again. If he be the leader or the follower to you, it matters not, for you have chosen death. But if he calls for death or calls for life, for hate or for forgiveness and for help, is not the same an outcome. Hear the one, and you are separate from him and are lost. But hear the other, and you join with him, and in your answer is salvation found. The voice you hear in him is but your own. What does he ask you for? And listen well, for he is asking what will come to you because you see an image of yourself and hear your voice requesting what you want. Before you answer, pause to think of this. The answer that I give my brother is what I am asking for, and what I learn of him is what I learn about myself. Wow, that makes it pretty important, because how you answer your brother is what you're asking for. And what you are learning of him is what you're learning about yourself. We're all connected. We're all connected. Paragraph 20. And we'll sing that in our song at the end. The answer that I give my brother is what I'm asking for, and what I learn of him is what I learn about myself. Then let us wait an instant and be still, forgetting everything we thought we heard, remembering how much we do not know. This brother neither leads nor follows us, but walks beside us on the self-same road. He is like us, as near or far away from what we want as we will let him be. We make no gains he does not make with us, and we fall back if he does not advance, and we fall back if our brother does not advance. Take not his hand in anger, but in love. For in his progress do you count your own, and we go separately along the way, unless you keep him safely by your side. Boy, this sure does speak well of our lesson today, doesn't it? I love you, Father, and I love your Son. Paragraph 21. Because he is your equal in God's love, you will be saved from all appearances and answer to the Christ who calls to you. Be still and listen. Think not ancient thoughts. Forget the dismal lessons that you learned about this Son of God who calls to you. Christ calls to all with equal tenderness, seeing no leaders and no followers, and hearing but one answer to them all. Because he hears one voice, he cannot hear a different answer from the one he gave when God appointed him his only Son. 22. Be very still an instant. Come without all thought of what you ever learned before, and put aside all images you made. Boy, that's, there again, lesson 1. I do not understand anything I see in this place. Be very still an instant. Come without all thought of what you ever learned before, and put aside all images you made. The old will fall away before the new without your opposition or intent. There will be no attack upon the things you thought were precious and in need of care. There will be no assault upon your wish to hear a call that never has been made. Nothing will hurt you in this holy place to which you come to listen silently and learn the truth of what you really want. No more than this will you be asked to learn. But as you hear it, you will understand you need but come away without the thoughts you did not want and that were never true. Paragraph 25. Forgive your brother all appearances, which are but ancient lessons that you taught yourself about the sinfulness in you. Hear but his call for mercy and release from all the fearful images he holds of what he is and of what you must be. He is afraid to walk with you and thinks perhaps a bit behind or a bit ahead would be a safer place for him to be. Can you make progress if you think the same? Advancing only when he would step back, and falling back when he would go ahead? For so do you forget the journey's goal, which is but to decide to walk with him, so neither leads nor follows. Thus it is a way you go together, not alone. And in this choice is learning's outcome changed, for Christ has been reborn to both of you. 24. An instant spent without your old ideas of who your great companion is and what he should be asking for will be enough to let this happen. And you will perceive his purpose is the same as yours. He asks for what you want and needs the same as you. It takes perhaps a different form in him, but it is not the form you answer to. He asks and you receive, for you have come with but one purpose, that you both may learn you love each other with a brother's love. And as a brother must his father be the same as yours, as he is like yourself. And I'm going to pause before I read the last paragraph, 25, and read again, or say again, I love you, Father, and I love your Son. That last sentence. And as a brother must his father be the same as yours, as he is like yourself. And that sentence even before that. He asks and you receive, for you have come with but one purpose, that you both may learn you love each other with a brother's love. And as a brother must his father be the same as yours, as he is like yourself. Together is your joint inheritance remembered and accepted by you both. Alone it is denied to both of you. Is it not clear that while you still insist on leading or on following, you think you walk alone, with no one by your side? This is the road to nowhere. For the light cannot be given while you walk alone, and so you cannot see which way you go. And thus there is confusion and a sense of endless doubting as you stagger back and forward in the darkness and alone. Yet these are but appearances of what the journey is and how it must be made. For next to you is one who holds the light before you, so that every step is made in certainty and sureness of the road. A blindfold can indeed obscure your sight, but cannot make the way itself grow dark. And he who travels with you has the light. And he who travels with us is the Holy Spirit, who shines to us in our brothers and our sisters. So let's be sure to do our lesson for the day, which is, I love you, Father, and I love your Son. And what is the real world? Well, let's go ahead and finish our reading with the guitar. What is the real world? And let's see if I'm hoping that the wind doesn't disturb this, and I'll be able to. I may lose a beat, but I'll try not to when I change page. What is the real world? The real world is a symbol like the rest of what perception offers. Yet it stands for what is opposite to what you made. Your world is seen through eyes of fear and brings the witnesses of terror to your mind. The real world cannot be perceived except through eyes forgiveness blesses. So they see a world where terror is impossible and witnesses to fear cannot be found. The real world holds a counterpart for each unhappy thought reflected in your world. A sure correction for the sights of fear and sounds of battle which your world contains. The real world shows a world seen differently, through quiet eyes and with a mind at peace. Nothing but rest is there. There are no cries of pain and sorrow heard, for nothing here remains outside forgiveness. And the sights are gentle. Only happy sights and sounds can reach the mind that has forgiven itself. Only happy sights and sounds can reach the mind that has forgiven itself. What need has such a mind for thoughts of death, attack, and murder? What can it perceive surrounding it but safety, love, and joy? What is there it would choose to be condemned? And what is there it would judge against? The world it sees arises from a mind at peace within itself. No danger lurks in anything it sees, for it is kind, and only kindness does it look upon. For it is kind, and only kindness does it look upon. It is kind, and only kindness does it look upon. The real world is a symbol that the dream of sin and guilt is over, and God's Son no longer sleeps. His waking eyes perceive the sure reflection of his Father's love. His waking eyes perceive the sure reflection of his Father's love. The certain promise that he is redeemed. The real world signifies the end of time, for its perception makes time purposeless. The Holy Spirit has no need of time when it has served his purpose. Now he waits but that one instant more for God to take his final step. And time has disappeared, taking perception with it as it goes, leaving but the truth to be itself. That instant is our goal, for it contains the memory of God, leaving but the truth to be itself. For that instant is our goal, for it contains the memory of God, the truth to be itself, the truth to be itself. That instant is our goal, for it contains the memory of God. And as we look upon a world forgiven, it is he who calls to us and comes to take us home, reminding us of our identity, which our forgiveness has restored to us, which our forgiveness has restored to us. I love you, Father, and I love your Son. I love you, Father, and I love your Son. Forgiveness, I love you, Father, and I love your Son. Missed a beat, didn't I? I love you, Father, and I love your Son. I love you, Father, and I love your Son. And we're to remember that when we answer, we're supposed to pause and think when we answer our brother. The answer that I give my brother is what I am asking for. And what I learn of him is what I learn about myself. The answer that I give my brother is what I am asking for. And what I learn of him is what I learn about myself. The answer that I give my brother is what I am asking for. About myself. I love you, Father, and I love your Son. I love you, Father, and I love your Son. My gratitude permits my love to be accepted without fear. My gratitude permits my love to be accepted without fear. And thus am I restored to my reality. All that intruded in my holy sight, forgiveness takes away. And I draw near the end of senseless journeys, mad careers, and artificial values. I accept instead what God establishes as mine. Sure that in that alone I will be saved. Sure that I go through fear to meet my love. Sure that I go through fear to meet my love. Father, I come to you today because I would not follow any way but yours. You are beside me. Certain is your way. And I am grateful for your holy gifts of certain sanctuary and escape. Escape from everything that would obscure my love for God my Father and His Holy Son. I love my Father and I love your Son. I love my Father and I love your Son. I love my Father and I love your Son. Thank you so much for joining me here on this nice fall day, considering I love you, Father, and I love your Son. And the answer that I give my brother is what I am asking for. And what I learn of him is what I learn about myself. I love you, Father, and I love your Son.